All right, and should be up and running in moments probably. Just looking for this. There we go. And hello, anybody and everybody. Oh, I see Twitch. Let's just hope YouTube does its thing. The real kicker. Okay, just waiting for... And it's working, maybe, probably. Wouldn't be surprised if it didn't today, though. Definitely one of those kind of days. Definitely one of those kind of days. But I have just a moment or two. Oh, yeah, great. They're both working. All right. I have just a moment or two to try to get this done. I'll let some people come on. We got some fun stuff. Hi, Christine. We got some fun stuff to share, but I'm going to start by just getting some of this started. This is a little sketch that I need to work on for a video. That video that everything went wrong, like everything went wrong. I need to figure out a way to capture some of it now. So having no like footage, what I'm going to try to do is just kind of paint in the stuff that's missing and hope that works. Also, hello Jane or Janet. Oh, that's so funny. Wow, Janet minus the T is Jane. I never even thought of that. Is Jane like a nickname for Janet? Because you can make it out of the same ingredients. Also, hello everybody. Bit of a distracting day, like one of those ones where it's kind of like the Monday that kind of kicks you sideways a little bit and makes you wonder like how you're gonna pull off the rest of this week. But it's gonna be good. Hi Isabella. Welcome. I'm just adding in some initial stuff. We got some interesting stuff to talk about today. But I'm just gonna add in a couple of these little bits of picture. This is for a video that I'm working on where I lost all the footage. So now I'm trying to figure out how to make the video. But that's kind of I feel like, kind of par for the course for a lot of what I do. Just adding in a bit of the blue for the windows, and then the nice thing is I'll add the exact same blue for the sky. And this is the Keen building. This is their HQ in Portland, which is super cool. But we're just gonna sketch really quick. Hello, Pia. But it was a fun day. I talked with Liz from I Paint Burbs today, who was super generous and gave me some time just to, like, I had so many questions to pick her brain about Twitch and things like that. And that was so helpful. Learned all about emotes and all kinds of stuff. But it is kind of wild when you think about it. Like, we've been doing this for like less than a year, basically, which is kind of awesome. Like, we are, as a community, I feel like we are doing a lot of learning, which is good. But how's everybody doing? Is it similar Mondays? I don't know. Am I the only one who's getting like real Monday vibes out of today? It's been feeling very, very, very Monday. But it's a good weekend. Hot weekend. I got heat exhaustion, which is kind of new. And a little embarrassing because it was 72 degrees. Like Fahrenheit. 72 degrees. which is not normally the temperature that you get heat exhaustion at. Normally it's a little bit hotter, but in Alaska it's just so easy to not quite realize like how hot it is at these temperatures. Crazy busy day at work for me. Very much a Monday. Yep. Okay. Good. Glad. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's a crazy busy day, but also I'm glad I'm not the only one. Okay, a little bit here, a little bit there. Touch more blue. So right here, these are just kind of all the reflection-y bits. So I'm just going to kind of get these down just to have them there, and then everything else is much darker. So it doesn't make too much of a difference. Actually, I should probably add some of this in here too, shouldn't I? I think there's like a little one of these. This is a frame for what I do for animations too. So I'll take this and I'll basically cut out the middle and then put video in there, and that's how I do those kind of cool animation-y things. Kind of dreary day, hot, lots of smoke in the air. Oh yeah, that's right. There's like those big fires going on in the west right now, isn't there? We were lucky that we had a lot of rain and then a lot of heat, so we didn't get too many fires in Alaska yet, which I'm hoping is the case. Like that continues, but I'm hoping the fires are staying away from you and yours, or at least as much as it could. Whoops. Yeah, let's see if I can save it. Okay, just gotta add a little bit of this over to the top. And then I'm choosing water. This is hot press paper too, so this is real kind of good for those kind of interesting bloom effects and stuff like that. I'm going to use lots of different colors, kind of just on the paper while it's happening. It's like I'm letting my kind of, what is this called, indigo? Is that indigo? Yeah, my indigo and my burnt sienna kind of mix while I am moving. Maybe a bit of purple. The nice thing with adding these paintings too is I can kind of extend the shot. So on Instagram you want everything vertical, whereas everything else is wide, which doesn't usually translate because you have to take a wide thing and just cut a little vertical wedge out of it. But when I paint, I can just add whatever I want to the top. It's generative AI before AI. It's artist intelligence, not artificial intelligence. Heavy rain all day just added to the Monday vibe. Yeah. Thank goodness we had rain today. It was, well, not rain. It was gray here, but do you ever have that feel where it's just like a beautiful weekend or something and you're like, I need something that gives me an excuse to stay inside. I cannot do it anymore. Please do not make me go outside. I do not want to feel guilty for not being out there. Just let me be inside in peace. Okay, a little bit right there. There we go. Yeah, something like that. Ta-da! Oh, do I have enough to do the lettering? You'll see. By the end of this whole painting will be pretty filled out. Or at least should be. You'll see. And I'll paint right to the... Oh, I shouldn't have... Ugh, shoot. I was supposed to tape this. Where's my tape? Nope, not there. Right here. Okay. Might be too late. So, So with watercolors, a lot of times you can tape stuff down and it will keep things relatively flat and uniform. Or if you forget, that might just like cause more havoc. You can also do stuff like pre-stretching the paper. That's a thing, or you can like pre-wet it, and it like holds the shape better and things like that. But right now I'm just gonna hope that this can kind of keep it down. So just give the tape something to grip onto. There's this. Oh man. Okay, now once I get my sky and these letters done, I have some questions. We ran into a few pitfalls this weekend, and I need some answers, and you might have the answers. But also I just talked about dehydration, so I need to go quickly get some water right now because I am still just like a fish right now after that whole weekend. I ran up a very tall mountain with my father-in-law, who is in his 60s, and he kicked my butt. And I was like just close to fainting on the way down. Probably because I wore a long sleeve shirt. But it's either like you get heat exhaustion or sunburn. And I think I actually managed to get both, so kind of winner there. Okay, right here. And right here. There we are. Okay, a little bit of that. And that'll be good. And like I said, this is going to be a frame for a video, so I'm kind of just... There we go, getting the basics. All right, what was I about to grab? What was it? See, this is kind of where my brain is at right now. It's like... I don't know if it's the heat exhaustion or being a dad. But either way, not a whole lot going on up here right now. Oh yeah, right. Liquids. We'll start with that. Costco's finest. Waterloo. With Alaska, you often get one like case of something, because you always shop at Costco, because Costco is like the most economic thing to do up in a state with some of the most expensive groceries on the planet. So you often get one of these big cases of like a flavor or three. By the time you're done with it, you are sick of that flavor for at least like a couple months. But it's amazing for like the first, you know, half of the flavor. So this is still kind of fresh and new and exciting. Very shortly, I'm going to be sick of it. Okay, so while that dries, I have a couple questions, and some exciting stuff to share. Should we open stuff first? Should we do mail time or question time first? What's best for you? A quick look at that yellow going on here. Well, while I await your answer. A little bit of some of this yellow. Keen is like a very specific yellow, so try to match that as much as I can. Okay, a little bit of lettering is always kind of terrifying because I feel like it looks janky until all of it is janky, and then it looks great. But there's this moment where you go from outline to slightly lettered, where not everything is at the same level, and it's just sloppy. At least that's how mine turned out. Maybe I'm the only one. Also, just checking back in. There we go. Okay, a little bit around. Doing the hard stuff first. The concentration is real. The crowd, silent. There we go, and voila. If you've ever been interested in how if you've seen some of the videos I've done where the animation is kind of part of it, I can explain that process too if you find that interesting. Okay, so the issue. We have a membership, which some of you may be on. It's very exciting. $5 a month or $50 for the year, and if you do like all of it at once with the year, we send you really fun stuff. Like stickers, which look like this. A little bag of stickers. There's like lots of fun ones. There's like a little fox. There is a very large fox. There you go. There, you can see it better this way. There's these ones, which are really great. So we send stickers. Oh, I'm working on a different web browser today, so no auto transcript and no idea of what you're saying, but I'll lurk a bit before heading to bed. Thank you, Tengolchi. But so we've got stickers, and we have this, which is this is the one that gets sent out a little bit closer to August. We have other really fun prints that are of a similar quality. This is that same stuff, that like really, really high quality watercolor paper. Like, do you see that? Like, that is a print, but you can barely tell. And so I did a limited run of these, but we just found out that the brushes are getting returned. Not by people, but these brushes are big enough that they are not shipping. So we just had 6 returned. We've sent out about 30 plus or so, but several of these brushes are getting returned because we were shipping them in envelopes and they're a little too big. The problem is, like, shipping them to Europe and things, the U.S. Postal Service, which is a bit of a piece of work, is saying that it's going to be like $19 or something to ship this tiny brush, which is even tinier when you actually just, like, this tiny brush. This is going to cost a huge amount of money to ship. So we are everybody who's become a member, we're going to make sure that we get you a brush one way or another. And then we're going to figure out ways where members still have access to these brushes in like the shop and things like that. Or maybe we'll put them in orders with like trail tiles and stuff like that. If we're shipping something to you anyway, we'll figure that out. But it's going to be hard to ship them with the membership, especially because what we're looking for is 2,500 members. If we have, by the end of the year, if we have 2,500 members, we are 100% independent and we can chase down my grandmother's sketchbook in full, like, unhampered, just we can do it. We can do it. But these would set us back significantly if we had to pay $19 from shipping with each of them. So yeah, international shippings are wild. So we're trying to figure out what to do with that. And if we went the route where, say, we just shipped the mini print and stickers, what should we include instead of the brush? Should we include like another little print? Should we include other stickers? Is a mini print and stickers worth $50? I mean, frankly, these ones are definitely, I would definitely sell this. Like, look at this. This is what it looks like with a cute little frame. Like, that is, I would definitely feel okay selling that for $50 or $60 in a gallery, especially limited edition stuff like this. But like, what should we do? Hey Silas. But yeah, it's such a bummer with the brush side of things. I think just saying it out loud, I think maybe what should happen is that like the member store, which members get access to, just because that way everything doesn't get snapped up by somebody else. I think maybe what we'll do is anything we ship in the member store will come with a brush. So like if you order a trail tile, like we could include a brush with it, or if you order a we may or may not have some pretty cool sketchbooks that are going to be happening, or anything like that. Anything that like has a package, we could go with it. Let's see. Oh, what happened? So Silas, these are starting to get returned, not by the people, but by the post office. The post office is saying that it's going to cost like $19 to ship this brush internationally. So we're kind of trying to figure out like, okay, how do we sort that one out? Yeah, a signed print is definitely worth $50. I appreciate that. Thank you. Maybe a print of a little square trail tile, like a special one. Oh yeah, yeah. So maybe what you get is you get like whatever the mini print is and like a fun little micro print, like a really fun little thing. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, I could see that. Let's see. I think the membership cost is also just a support. It is, right. It's true. And that people have been really kind with, but also it's nice to send something. It's like, you know, it's a gift to give a gift, right? And it feels amazing to be able to send something. And like I said, you are probably the anomalies here because you're here to support, which is amazing. But like I said, if we have that 2,500 mark of members, we are just like, we're in it, like, which I think will take a whole year to figure out, but still, it's big picture stuff, you know. That's weird. It shouldn't be international. I know, isn't that so strange? And oh, actually, Silas is one that was returned. Oh no. Okay, so they're not just international. All right, so something about the size. I don't know. Jen has been doing all the shipping because Jen is like very gracious and more patient person than I am, and has a system. I get a lot of stuff returned, but that's just because I put the wrong amount of shipping on it, and it's so frustrating that this is going to return because these are so cool. But if you have a member, we're going to make sure this gets to you one way or another. Don't worry. But it's for all the future people. Like this August is going to be kind of a wild month, and we might get a bunch of members, hopefully. And it's like, oh boy, if every single one of those got returned, what would you do? This stuff is hard. Art is like mostly business. It's kind of annoying. People are like, "Ooh, I want to be an artist." And it's like, that is like you absolutely should, but like, I didn't realize that like there's an asterisk and it's like artist / business person. It's not quite what I'm. Complain. Let's see. I ship a couple times per year to my friend in the Netherlands. The packages hurt my soul a bit to ship. I know, right? It's like at that point, I wonder if they do it because it's just like they make it so expensive that it would just be cheaper to go visit them in person. Maybe like the shipping stuff is like really big postal or big tourism, who's just like, all right, let's make it so expensive to send anything. You just want to bring it with your own hands. They put the kibosh on both domestic and international. Well, you guys already sent me one, so there's no Silas. We are gonna send you a brush. That is gonna happen regardless. We're just trying to figure out, like, say this August, like, so backing up like 5 more steps. So Maya is coming up this summer, and it's so cool because that's like such a cool community. But like every time I am near the Alveus community, the amount of support and excitement and intention is so strong. It's like a pack of golden retrievers or something like that. It's just the amount of energy is overwhelmingly extreme in the best way. But like I kind of got overwhelmed by it last time at the food bank, and it can be a lot. So I'm trying to figure out what how to figure stuff out. So say like these 300 bear prints all go out, like we get 300 members or something incredible like that, and then like all the brushes got returned. It should be double the work, and that'd be too much. That'd be crippling, like from a time perspective. So yeah, I don't know, maybe 2 prints like this and another one or something. That could be a really fun way to do it. And just to point out, thank you again for your support, Silas. Let's see. Yeah, makes international orders or physical Kickstarter lotteries in how much more will I pay, right? Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild stuff. I see other sites that won't ship internationally maybe offer insider special tutorials. I think the idea is that too. Like, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe okay. Everybody's grandfathered in, and then maybe what we do is just like we just have the print and we just have the stickers, and maybe we keep it simple. Maybe that's it. It's just like, all right, if you join the membership after this, then you get a really cool print and stickers, and that's worth $50 for sure. And then we'll figure out ways to sneakily get brushes all over the world through other shipping methods. And if you order a trail tile or something like that, we'll sneak a few in that way. But just gotta work for a while. Gotta dive. Let's see. Gotta drive to go up to my wood shop. Oh, for some parts tonight. BRB. That's right, because you make like frames and stuff too, huh? That is so cool. I need to hear all about that later. Yeah. Anyway, that's part of what's going on. Let's see. How dry is this? I'm gonna add one more layer here, and then I've got some fun mail to share. Speaking of mail, first I'm going to complain about mail, then I'm going to share. And that's the other part too, is like the reason that it's worth doing is because mail is so good. It just feels so good to like get a thing, I love it. It's nice. It's fun to share. It's good stuff. It's just I don't want the cost of shipping to outweigh what we're able to do, and the irony of trying to do something and then going bankrupt from trying to ship it is the equivalent of like being loved to death on the trails, where somebody loves the trail so much that the excitement about the trail ends up breaking it. Jen loves mailing our community free stuff. Also, hello from Pennsylvania. How are you doing, Tina? Okay, a little bit of some green. Here's these trees. I'm trying to go lighter in these background colors. I think I often kind of go a little too heavy, actually. And let's add a little touch of brown or something like this. Maybe a bit of purple in there. Whoop, too much. Hold on. Oof. You want to see some... Oh boy, what are we going to do? I think we're going to stick a bunch of indigo on it, actually. Not my intention, but this is what we're going to get. Okay. This is a frame for a video. You'll see. It's basically due in the next week and a half, so you'll see some of this coming to life. Hello, welcome, Digital Daisy, and from Vancouver. Welcome. Hello. How is it going, Kennedy Karen? To the fun stuff. So there have been some fun things today. Okay, so I got some interesting stuff in the mail. This is kind of funny. This right here, I am. Any guesses what this is? And no, it's not like black and white Neapolitan ice cream. Although that'd be good, wouldn't it? What would gray be? Chocolate, vanilla, and like something else gray. We're doing okay. Trying to figure out some stuff. This right here, we're trying to figure out the shipping side for the membership before things get a little bit too big. But I think we have some solutions. I feel like we're in a decent space on that. Socks, not socks, but same material ish. I'll try it out too, live, if you want to see. Sweet, sweet liquid. Okay, I'll show you. So this right here is... Oh, thank you for the follow. This right here is... These are wrist, like sweat pads, sweat guards, whatever you call them. So you can kind of see, I'm stretching it because I tried one on earlier and they're very tight. But this right here is like what you put on for, oh yeah, that's real styling. Look at me. Who's this cool guy? So you put that on, and then I got a watch on too. I take that off. But so like you got one of these, and then when you are painting, this could be your blotter. Maybe. I've seen some people do it. I'm trying the gray one instead of the white one because they're different colors. But apparently armbands for white paint. Yeah, I've seen people do it before, and I've been kind of intrigued. So like say I am sketching this. Here we go. Put this down here. Keep this off my paper. So like say I'm sketching this. Here's my wrist. There's my wrist. And you're holding, oh yeah, there we go. This is accurate. So you're holding this, and you have like a, well, let's try all the pieces. Let's try this. Here we go. So usually you would have a water brush is what you generally have. So say you got a water brush right here, and you have one of these little things, and you're painting in, okay, here we go, some raspberry leaves or something. What I got right here. So you're holding this right here, and raspberries are red. Just figuring out this stuff. Okay, so you're painting in some raspberries. Life is great. Raspberries are red. Nice and ripe. And then you want to switch colors. You can just kind of do some of that and then move on to like your greens. Let's see how this works. Okay, that actually feels pretty fast. Yeah. Oh yeah. That would do just fine. Okay. That is kind of like the one thing that I kind of struggle with, especially while sketching kind of like fast, is like this little thing. And then I guess you just wash this too. Like you just toss this in a sink and then you can just wash it. I just added one of those to my travel art kit. Interesting. Okay. Because you've used it before, because of this most phenomenal demonstration that I'm giving right now. No more paper towel. Well, I mean, still, yes, toilet paper is and will always be, because you can still use toilet paper as toilet paper. Don't use this as toilet paper and then reuse it. A lot more stylish than the old cut of sock put on my wrist to blow out the paintbrush with whenever I'm outside. That's one way to do it. I like that. That is resourceful. You might have to send Jen one. I have 6. At least 5 more now. Yeah, definitely. I've been using black ones for years. You can't see, that's what I was thinking, right? Okay, so there's gray, white, and black, and so part of me was kind of thinking like, oh, well, the white could be good because then you could kind of see what you're doing. The gray is kind of in between, but yeah, you're right. The black, like, yeah. Okay, that's what I was betting. I figured I'd try them all, just to, like, somebody's got to test this for us. But yeah, okay, this is good. I'm glad we're doing that. What you can't do is you can't do the blotting necessarily. You could with tissue paper or toilet paper, but like, yeah, these, I mean, you could even use these in the rain. You can use these in anything. Kind of fun. So that's this. Trying these, adding those to the art repertoire. And then, let's see, there's some more fun stuff. Oh, one thing I did want to try too was using this on watercolor pencil just to see what it works. But speaking of watercolor pencil, I got a big box from With, which feels like it's sponsored. I swear this is not like my Squarespace. I feel like every podcast nowadays is like, this podcast brought to you by Squarespace or something. I am not paid by with. I am not. I just like what they're doing. They're good people. And they're make some really fun stuff. But now they're sending me stuff which is also appreciated. But I want to retain my integrity here. And I bought my own pair, by the way. I bought my own set too. So this is not even like that side of things. I've seen them used by other artists. Thought it might be better than trying to clip a paper towel down. Yeah, I'm gonna give these a try. I'll let you know what I think. Okay, here we go. We got a little bit of this. I have no idea what's in this box. Could be food. But after all this talk of shipping and its struggles, I'm sure this costs an arm and a leg to get up here. Although I will say, whenever I ship stuff from Alaska, if it takes a long time, I try to send it by plane, which often costs like a couple bucks more. But if you don't send it by plane, it goes by boat, which can take anywhere from 3 days to like 2 to 3 weeks. It's crazy. They call it ground advantage, but it is not. It is not an advantage. Okay, here we go. What do we got here? This. Ooh, bubble wrap. Very exciting. Very exciting. Well, let me just... What do we got here? There's a note somewhere. 1 second. Notes. Notes. Hi, Max. Love to hear your thoughts on the watercolors. Tried to avoid as much plastic as we could, so thank you for your work and use of our stuff. With you, Kirk. Oh, that is so sweet. I also do love how little plastic they use. I say, ripping through some bubble wrap. Okay, what is this? Oh my gosh, no kidding. Okay, that is really fun. Wow, fun. Oh my gosh, it's a giant sweatshirt. Oh, that's really great. I am all about it. Oh, that is so fun. Art tools that go with you. That is great. Now, the problem is I cannot wear this and seem unbiased. Oh, that's super cozy looking. Yeah, if I wear this and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not paid to say this stuff wearing their clothing. Hey, I'll take it though. I am all about sweatshirts with stuff on them. Speaking of which, do you like my the reppin' various Alaskan causes? I might actually be up there later, but I'll explain all about that later. Oh, and there we go. A brand new set of these. Now I'm all about this, especially because my plan is to go through this stuff fast. I want to use so much of this that I do need a refill. So if you haven't seen it already, this is, where did I put those? Oh, they're here somewhere. Anyway, they're the watercolor pencils. They're really great. My goal is to use through all of it, but like this much lead, this is like a sketchbook of drawings. But my goal is to use through the entire pack before winter, because I want to get proficient in it, and you get proficient by doing it, and you do that because you make huge amounts of mistakes. So my goal is to make massive amounts of mistakes and just fill sketchbooks with lead, or in this case watercolor lead, as much as I can by that point, because I think these could be really helpful for winter. So hold me to it. That's what I'm aiming for, and it can be so easy to kind of hold art supplies as precious, but the only thing that is precious is your time. That is the most precious thing. That is the only actual limited thing in this world, and not using art supplies to their fullest is wasting your time. Let's see. Oh yeah, and we'll also be giving one of those away and a sweatshirt this month with our kits. Yes, that's right. We have a really fun giveaway with those. Haven't quite figured it out, but it's gonna happen. Let's see. I've seen them used by other artists. Thought it might be better. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so there's that. And the last thing that I want to check out before I finish this up. Now let's put a layer on this. Let's try this out here. This is a frame. So what I do, AI would be a whole lot easier. What I do with this stuff is, this is a trace of a frame from a video. So in the video, I come out of this door and I run this way, right here like this. So this is a frame of the video. I make a sketch of the frame, and then I'll cut this piece out and then basically play the video behind it digitally. And then that's how I get that like look as if it's like I'm part of a watercolor. You 100% could do this with AI, but like every single thing that I've done in that way, like has one of these behind it, which is cool, I think. I don't know how many more of these I'm going to do. If AI really takes over, I think it's going to be harder and harder to justify doing stuff like this time-wise, but it's good. It's important to do stuff the old ways. And by the old ways, I mean like actually doing it by hand, no longer like just doing everything with AI, which seems to be the new norm. Okay, so I have a little bit. I was wondering how I did this. Yes, I'll show you the full process right now. Here we go. Step 1, make a sketch. And then the Keen building leaves, let's see, the welcome. There is like a little thing that goes here that I need to kind of put in, don't I? What's cool about this building is it was an old steamship factory, and it was built kind of the headquarters is built retrofitting the whole building with only one dumpster full of trash. They reused everything. Like the tables upstairs are made out of parts of the floor that they didn't need. The shelves of the shoe store are old tank tread that they found upstairs. Like they sanded. They didn't sandblast it. They used walnut shells because you can kind of keep on reusing them. It's really wild stuff, and kind of a good example of like, oh yeah, you don't have to cause a bunch of waste to make something new. You can turn something old into something very, very, very cool, and that's what they did. So every time I get a chance, I always like to kind of put it in a video, you know? All right, so we got some of that, and now let's just add some more of the color to this, a little bit by a little bit. Is your headquarters? Oh yeah, this is the headquarters. Keen is in Portland. They are right there in the Pearl District, which is actually where a lot of the shoe companies are. Oregon is like real shoey. Like Nike's in Beaverton, which is just over the river. Adidas, Asics. Who else? There's like a bunch of sandal companies. They're all kind of in Portland. Allbirds, I think, might even be in Portland. They're like all kind of Portland based, which is really interesting. And Keen is as well. Okay, going right up. Here is this. Okay, this is pretty rough. This is kind of my memory from the top of the building, so I'm just gonna add that there because I don't actually remember. But I think it looks something like that. Maybe it's more brown. That's all right. The beauty kind of this stuff is it's not meant to be perfect. It's not supposed to be a blueprint. Roughness is good. Something like that. And I'm just going to let this kind of ride for a minute. Now, I do have a question about this stuff called cold wax. So with the watercolor pencils, which I've been kind of trying out a little bit, and I can show you, can I? Where did I put it? Is it this? Or is it inside? Oh, there's Eve. Hello, Eve.
Hello. I'm just letting you know that Rudy finally woke up, so we are on our way. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll be live in here for a bit, but I can sort stuff out whenever you need.
Well, I don't think you have to sort anything out.
Oh, great. I will.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you'll be. This is the sound of Birdie's song. This is the sleep song. You'll be Nordic spying and then coming back.
I don't think I'll be able to go to the Nordic spa.
Okay.
Because it will take me, 20 minutes from their house to get there.
Okay. Yeah, we can figure that out later too.
Well, I think it'll have to be another day.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okie dokie.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Where's my brain at? Nope, gone. Okay, a little bit of this. There. Oh yeah, okay, right. So cold wax. There's this stuff. It's called cold wax, and I made a couple fun sketches this weekend. But the problem with the watercolor pencil is it's still there. So like a drop of water, and that stuff can just poof. Like whereas once this is dry, you can just you can put water on here. It won't instantly ruin it. It might ruin it eventually, but it won't instantly ruin it. So I'm trying to figure out ways where I can kind of preserve what I'm working on while I'm working on it. And actually, I think it's inside here. Wait 1 second. I'm going to go run in, grab it. Here's some paint that you can watch dry. Okay, I got it. So this is a little bit what is this here? We'd spraying it with something. Yes, so there's something similar. It's called cold wax. This is what it is. It's called cold wax. Dorland's wax medium. Anyway, a lot of times you use for like batik and stuff like that, I think. But this is cold wax, and you put this on watercolors, and it kind of locks it in. Although apparently, when you're in hot climates, it can uncold itself and stick stuff back together. So be warned. But as I've mentioned to you, for me, hot climate is 72 degrees, so I think I'm going to be just fine. But you have this stuff. So here, for instance, is I'm trying to make, these are some of the sketches I kind of made attempts at last time. But like here, they finally started work. So here's a cabin, we had a memorial, and here's the cabin where it was at. And actually, this is all with a pencil and watercolor pencil, which is kind of a fun combination. And I really, really like this part right here is my favorite. Like that mix of there's sketch, it kind of bleeds and blurs out into nothing, but also you can kind of see where the shadows are. I like that a lot. That feels really, really good. And it's been kind of interesting because it's kind of like how do you use a colored pencil or like a watercolor pencil like in context. And I think I've been trying to like this. I was really disappointed how it turned out. Didn't love what that was. And then like I keep on sort of trying stuff out. Like this is where I try to kind of add all the color first. So it's funny because it's really the same stuff. Like watercolor pencils are basically just crushed up watercolor. It's not like this is new technology or anything too crazy, but like finding your style with something, which is why it's important to kind of try and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and try and fail, and then occasionally see through it. But like this is one of the first times for me where it's like, oh, that is it. So like this is kind of cool too. But like this combination of like that's the pencil part. So that's just pure color pencil, and then use watercolor pencil down here. But right here, right, where it mixes here, that's watercolor pencil that I just haven't added water to, and then mixes into the background. So this, I don't know your style preferences, but for me, like this back porch feels like a shady log cabin in a way that even like watercolors couldn't quite get. So that in particular, I'm all about it. And so my thought is, how can I preserve that? I still need to scan this one, but something like this, do I have an example? Not too much. Yeah, maybe I do. So something like this right here could be kind of a good example. Here is a janky sketch of my son Kip, I think. Yeah, actually, no, that's decent. That is half decent. Let's try on this instead. Okay, here's Eve reading a book that I didn't finish, that didn't turn out very well. So I am now going to add some red watercolor pencil, and I'm using a little lead holder just for ease. But okay, so here we go. So here is A little bit of this. Now this cold wax medium, say I'm in the field and like everything happens like this, right? So I'll try this out probably after, but I don't want to risk this. That right there is untouched. So if I added water to that, it would immediately turn into watercolor and like really turn into watercolor. Same with this. If I add a little bit of this, it should preserve it fully. You've used it over gouache and it works great. It makes the colors more vibrant too. Oh, does it? I didn't know that part. Definitely kind of shiny stuff up a little bit, which is nice because I feel like watercolor often dries duller and it kind of like returns it back to that. Okay, so here's a little fingerful, and I'm just going to, what I want to see is, does it smear the pencil? That's my main concern is, would it smear the pencil mark? Oh yeah, it does. Interesting. Okay, here's a loose example. Ah, interesting. Okay. So spray it is. Okay, so this. Okay, that's why we test it, huh? Especially once you do this. Normally, like with a watercolor, you just do this with your hands, and it's not gonna do anything. Like you're gonna be fine. Let's try this one too. Let's see if this changes. Oh yeah, look at that. Even this one over here. Just needs to kind of rub it in. That's all right. We're gonna do this fully because I thought this was a bit of a janky sketch. No, it was not the worst, but I was planning to kind of fill in the background. Okay, well, so this is not what you want to do if you want to preserve the integrity of pencil. You do not use cold wax medium. You use something else. That is so curious. A little goes a long way. That's the truth. Maybe I should use less. Or not. You know, we'll try some of this. No, I suspect it would still kind of be something that would kind of move. Okay, so. Huh. So what I'm hearing is, if you want to set your pencil lines, use something that is not cold wax medium. If you want to set your watercolor, cold wax medium is totally fine. Is that both watercolor and normal colored pencil? Because I wonder if you work on one and not the other because they're made out of different things. This is pencil, and then the stuff behind it was watercolor pencil. So the red is watercolor pencil, this is pencil. So pencil seems to be safe, but watercolor pencil seems to be a no-go. That being said, it smells wonderful. I don't know what it is, but like, kind of chemically, and like, it smells like something you shouldn't sniff, but you want to. Okay, well, that was a test. Definitely good to know, huh? And now I have a very waterproof finger, which is great. Okay, let's see. We have this here building. Let's go add some brown to it. Got kind of a nice red brown. So I'm going to go mix up some of that right now. There we are. And let's go start through here. This is always like, windows are great until you have to add them individually. My take is just don't be precious about them. Like, it's okay to paint through them a little bit if you need to. Windows are not about getting it perfect. It's like the idea of windows. But the problem is you kind of have to do it fast. How's the Pentel 8 working for you with watercolor LEDs? It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's the lead dispensing system, which is like the, you know, hold on, I'm going to give you the full demo here. Let me just quickly get a couple windows here squared away. There's this one, there's this one. Okay. Is that enough? Don't forget to buff it out afterwards too. Thank you. Yes, I will. I will probably be buffing that one out for a while. I put way too much on, and wouldn't change to spray preservatives. Maybe better. Yeah. So this is the Pentel. What is it? Eight something. Eight. Pentel 8, and so it's got 8 different like kind of chambers for lead, which just happens to work with watercolor LEDs perfectly. And then when you release one, it comes as far out as it will, and then theoretically you go to like there and then stop. So the width pencils, which are also Japanese, these are great because they make exactly as much as you want, and then there's no more that can come out until you push it down. So I prefer this method a ton, but as far as this goes, this is for just pure like bring with it to wherever I'm going ness. I'm willing to deal with this. That's all right. And so what I've been doing is I bring I'll have one of these, and I used to do this and then get like a little band that I put around it and then put a pencil here. But what I started doing now is I slip this off and then slip this over, and that creates a nice long kind of seal, and then I can, that's not going anywhere. So this has been what I was bringing with me actually. It's like this, and then I have one of these, as you can kind of see, this one right here, the long one, that's just pure colored pencil. That's with indigo, I think. So everything else is watercolor pencil, and this right, where'd you go? That one right there is just pencil. So I'll use the pencil and then add watercolor pencil, then if I have time, paint it in. So trying to figure out some systems, but like I said, winter in particular, that's kind of winter is like the tough one for me. And then winter and trying to track down my grandma's sketches. Winter, it's tough because it's awful to be outside and any significant amount of time with your fingers exposed, and chasing my grandmother's sketches, because a lot of times things are moving so fast. I don't really have the time to kind of react and sit down and make a big sketch. So I'm trying to figure out ways to be really, really efficient and be able to kind of start the process, even if I can't finish it. And I think these with color pencils and watercolor pencils and the Pentel 8 thing is pretty fun too. But it's all just tools. It's all just figuring out what you can do. What is the pencil called with 8 chambers? It's called a Pentel 8, something 8. Not Super 8. Pentel something 8. Pentel something 8. If anybody knows, let me know. But it's, yeah, they're cool. They're cool little things. I do think art supplies are a bit like hiking gear. Like if you ever know people do like the PCT or Appalachian Trail or something, there's like this culture of how light can you go, and you'll have people who file down their toothbrush handles because it's not much weight. Like they want to shave off those grams. They don't want to bring the extra weight of the toothbrush handle, which is cool. And it's like that, what a neat way to kind of strip it down. And then because they're so light, they can go pretty far and pretty fast. But I also think that there is something to be said about just being stronger. Because if you want to go far and fast, you either need to be lighter, so you carry less, or you need to be, I guess, more determined, so you want to go for longer, or you just need to be stronger, so you can carry more. And I guess the other one is just plan better, so you can like have more time. And so, with like art supplies, I think it's kind of similar, where it's like you can have all the art supplies on Earth, which is kind of like the person who has all the tents and all that stuff, and it'll slow you down, but like you'll have it. And then there's the people that are just super minimalist, who just have nothing but a pencil and that's it, and they're just like able to go super far and fast, but also that's limiting in its own way. I don't know. I think there's like a Goldilocks solution for all of this. There's always something in the middle that kind of feels better. as a beginner, I'll carry some extra weight and not hamstring myself too early. Exactly, right? Ounces led to pounds less pain, as they say. Ooh, I like that, Root Cricket. That is a ounce. That is a well, that's true. That is true. Yeah. But I also think people do kind of take it too far, or at least like with the money side of things. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you're bringing that heavy tent. You know, like an old tent is a expensive tent now. So like old techniques, old stuff is cheap because the new stuff is so much lighter and so much more expensive. And I feel like sometimes when people do maybe in the PCT it's different because the people that are doing the real light stuff are all dirt bags and just not bringing a thermarest. But there are people, or bikers are kind of a good example, right? Where it's like they buy lightness and they buy speed that way. And I think art can be dangerous because it can offer you the same things, right? Where it's like, oh, if only I have this one thing or this one supply, I'll be able to do good. But the truth is, if you can find a way around not having that one supply, you might be even more unique than you could imagine, right? Oh, you can't afford to bring an easel up a mountain, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to create a different style, and in doing so, that like makes your art that much more interesting. But it's tough. Honestly, as long as you're getting out hiking, that counts. As long as you've been getting out making art, that counts. Shadowing a little bit here. Here's kind of the top bits. Windows are all fun and games until you have to fill them in, and then all of a sudden it's no longer. But yeah. And this Friday, speaking of going to interesting places, this Friday, I think the loose plan is I'm gonna go find those wildflowers, but I'll do it somewhere exciting. So still gotta figure that out. But last Friday, I kind of went out to try some stuff, and then Eve and the kiddos came and met me, which was a lot of fun. Didn't do a lot of painting, but it was a lot of fun being there together. A lot of memory making. So that's good. That's really good. But my plan is to do it this time, to find those flowers. We're going to paint some Alaskan alpine wildflowers. It's going to be super fun. And then I'll do another giveaway. We did one last time. Oh, I still need to get numbers and things or addresses. But we're doing giveaways on Fridays with the stream and leaving something somewhere random for somebody to find, which somebody found pretty quick last time, actually. They snapped that up pretty good. But that's this Friday's plan, if anybody wants to join in. All right, here's a piece of the building. Like I said, this one is part of a film, so it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. It kind of just needs to be. So I'll add a couple layers here, but yeah, that's kind of the beauty of these like little frames. Is it kind of just needs to be something kind of basic. Got a little bit of some. There we are. And then the closer we get to the frame or the camera, kind of the bigger the dots are. So I might add just a couple of these. That was too big. That was much too big. Let me just fix that. We'll give that a try. Okay. Whew. They should have like specials on Monday, not Friday. You ever think about that? Like it's always just like, oh yeah, come in for Friday, like we're having a party or something like that. It should be on Monday. It's already been a long week and it's not even the end of the day. This video that I'm working on too is for one, I'm not sure if I mentioned the story, but all the footage got lost. So I filmed on Cannon Beach and it was gorgeous and it was like one of these amazing days. I was there with my mom. It was like a whole day of filming. And salt water got in the camera and in the SD card and it ruined everything. And it was so sad because I knew what the footage was. So yeah, it was rough. And now I'm trying to figure out how I can kind of animate and illustrate the rest of the story without having any footage from Cannon Beach. So that's what I'm currently kind of struggling with. But mentally, it is the equivalent of like being minutes ahead of a marathon, falling so hard that you watch everybody pass you and then getting back up and like having to run again after kind of wiping yourself out in the beginning. So that's what I'm currently kind of like working my way through, and it's due more or less next week. So uh, yeah. And then even then too, it's like I feel like I'm even moving slower than normal because you kind of get to this point where you're like, your expectations are so high that you can't even move forward again. Yeah, it's very upsetting. Yes. Oh, I just missed what you're saying, Karen. I can't believe I was in June at the beginning of July and never looked for an art store. What? I think they have a couple good art stores in Juneau. I think they have a couple great art stores in Juneau. Should definitely have hidden one there. That's a fun thing to do. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more of some of that brown down here. And then what I'll do with this is I then take this and I superimpose it onto the footage, and then that gives me kind of the shot, which looks pretty cool sometimes. But yes, it was very upsetting. I was deeply, deeply flabbergasted. For sure. Oh, yeah. Gotta get those trail tiles out. Well, and the brushes too. We'll figure out a way to the brushes. I'm liking the idea of the member store sending a brush with every order too. Maybe we don't even advertise it, we just do it. But that could be a good way around some of those things. Those shipping things. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how expensive it is. Although I got a little taste of it too. So this camera, where can I show this? Okay, so this camera, this is the same one that got fried. I've since gotten another one, which might be me not learning myself a lesson. This little thing, little gimbally bit. So there's a new version of this that comes out very soon. It has two lenses. One is like very zoomy in and zoomy outy, and one is normal. But you can't get this camera in the US because there's like trade disputes with this and the camera manufacturer. So the only place you can get them is in Canada, the only place you can get this camera is literally anywhere else but the US. You can still bring them in too. You just can't like sell them. You can have them. You can't sell them. So I am trying to find a way to, I think I'll probably just end up going to Canada and then picking up one of these cameras and then bringing it back with me. Because that's still fine, I think, probably. And if so, nobody tell the feds. But what I'm trying to do is I want this thing because it's like, yep, the Osmo Pocket, that's so in Silas. I want to be able to zoom in. Like if you remember the whale stream, it was so cool. Like there's a whale out there and like it was so cool. And I felt like I looked back at the footage and the zoomed in stuff was just blurry and like kind of rough. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can zoom in because I'm realizing the value of that in Alaska is just, we have some stuff worth zooming in on. And I'm hoping I can figure one of those out by like September or something like that. But just know I have streaming stuff in mind. But also if I end up in jail somewhere in the US for like illegally smuggling a camera with a zoom lens in, we'll have to like increase memberships or something to pay my bail. Actually, that'd be a silly thing to get. There's so many good things to be arrested for in America right now, and that is not a great one. But I'm also really excited because I am going to be able to kind of pick the brain of Connor and Maya when they're up in Alaska, and I feel like they do some really cool stuff around technology. Okay, a little bit down here. Okay, it's coming to life slowly. And let's just add maybe a touch of some of this. or something. Now all of these, once these are dry, then I'll go into like a little dash too. So the trick is like just these tiny little details kind of bring everything to life, and you got to be pretty symmetrical-ish with them. Not too symmetrical, but like just symmetrical enough. It'll work out. Oh, the Luna 360 is a beauty. Yes, the Luna 360, the 360 Luna is amazing. It just doesn't connect to the streaming equipment, so you can't stream with it yet. It doesn't have. Maybe one day it'll be updated. I'd be so into it, but yeah, that would be a great option if it could stream. Streaming is this nightmare world of just like things aren't made for it yet. It's so interesting. Like if you wanna multi-stream, it takes these massive pieces of technology. Like I could stream from my phone, or I mean from just about any technology you can stream nowadays. But then if I want to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time, I have to feed things through this brick of a, look at the size of this thing. So in order to stream to like YouTube and Twitch at the same time, I have to bring this thing with me, which cost an arm and a leg. This is like so expensive, and like the services to even use it's like $300 a month, which is crazy considering that I make I think $10 off of Twitch per month. Or no, Twitch is pretty good, but like yeah, it's like it's wild like how much they charge for all this stuff. But also the plan is to, you know, like if that's the only technology I need to bring, because those cameras, like the camera I showed you, that's a $500 camera, which compared to like these fancy things, I mean, these lenses are like $500 alone. And so then you can just use these pretty inexpensive cameras, and like mostly you can just get yourself out there. So it's one of these weird things where it's kind of like, it's like one of these situations where you're safe on one side of the cliff, but if you want to get to the other, you have to run really fast and jump. But if you miss, you gotta go, you can't be, you can either be here or here. Anywhere in the middle is not an okay spot to be. So it's one of those really funny things, but it's worth it, and this community makes it very painless, and like I'm reminded constantly of like why. But yeah, oof, I am trying. I really am. The irony is to do all of this work in order to watch paint dry, which is not lost on me. Okay, we now need to just go up, and we're adding some indigo now to all this, I think. Oh yeah, the Luna. Yeah, it looks. Don't even remind. I'm kind of jealous. Part of me like very much wishes that I could just use that instead. It seems like that would be kind of a perfect solution, but the streaming technology on it does not exist yet, and we have so many cool things that we need to do, and we're gonna do them, even if it means finding a camera from anywhere else but the US. The Alveus crew, though, those are the ones who really like know cameras. They have like all this kind of wild stuff where it's like, you know, cameras that sit there and can be remote controlled, and like all this really, really wild stuff. Connor's talking about like setting up the Eagle cams and stuff. So maybe what I really should do is just, instead of streaming, I should just kind of I should parasite. That's what I should do. I should parasite another stream. So maybe like I go find one of these, you know, critter cams or something that's on a trail, and then instead I just hike up there every single day and just go sit in front of it and then sketch. And then you can all find me there. And then, yeah, then with the money I save from not having to do this, like the streaming services, then we invest that into sketchbooks and or the hospital bills I have to incur from getting mauled by the bear that found me when I was on the critter cam. Producer Jen, have a great night. Good night, Jen. Thank you for sticking around so late on the East Coast right now. But all the solutions, figuring it all out, it's good, it's worth it, it's exciting, and I just so appreciate this community for like, you know, you can't do your best by yourself, which is something that I often would hear in cross country, which is such a kind of team sport. but it's also very individual, right? You're just running for your own time, but also without a team, you're not going to be able to push yourself, or even competition, you're not going to be able to push yourself. But it's kind of the same deal in all of this too, of like, yeah, without a community, you're not like, or in art, you need other artists to be able to do your best, and it doesn't happen in a vacuum. And so this community, like, definitely feel like I'm able to do my best because of them. So thank you. But also there's so much scary stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm looking into potentially going down the Dalton Highway. Welcome to Keene. Oops. Quickly fix it. There's one of my grandmother's sketches that's kind of down the Dalton Highway. I'm looking into maybe like this September if I can. But she left some really interesting sketches kind of down there. The problem is September in Alaska could be winter, which would really change stuff. Kind of change the picture. I think she made the sketches in July, and yeah, it's hard to know exactly when winter happens in Alaska. But I'm hoping to potentially even as early as September go find some of her sketches down there. Tried to find one in Whittier for us all, but that didn't quite work with the Wi-Fi side of things. But I think the Dalton should be a little bit better. Have that figured out by then. Okay, a little bit here, a little bit there. By tomorrow, I'll have this implemented in the actual video, and I can show you how it looks. Sort of. It'll be a secret. You just can't tell anybody at Keene that I'm sharing the process of the video early. Okay, a little bit of this. Oh, I love the way indigo and blue and brown kind of mix. So nice. All right, any other, what am I missing here? Okay, there's that. Now what am I missing here? I need a little bit of, let's put some reflections in here. With like a bush or something like that, you often get these little reflections kind of within it. So like this, you'll often kind of get like the bush will be green, but then the reflection will be kind of dark. Same with over here. I'll put one of those in. I'll put some building reflections in as well. Reflections are a funny thing. Although what I'm really excited about with portraits is the like the fuzziness. Where did I make that one? There's one that like turned out like real fuzzy and nice. Like, yeah. Okay, so this one right here, we did this live, but this got me really excited. This. Look at this. That ear right there, right? It's like just a hint of a portrait. And for me in watercolors, that's what it's all about. Is not trying to make them like watercolors be oils, but where it kind of like, it's like soft, almost like a memory, you know? Like when you think of somebody, like depending who you're thinking of, like I can't always picture like the exact details, but I have this like memory of exactly who they are. That's one of the things I'm really hoping to kind of get in that watercolor, at least with people. Still working on it all the time. It's like it's gonna take a while, but it's yeah, that like the softness is so cool. A little bit down right here. And I'll put one right there as well. Speaking of which, I'll just blur that out. When in doubt, blur it out. Ta-da! Okay. And we'll add some little bits up here. Now comes the windows. We'll just put all kinds of, see here's, check this out. This is gonna be fun. So this right here is kind of flat, right? In like the next 3 minutes, I'm gonna bring this to life. So what it starts with is you add these little bits of shadow. This is just indigo kind of washed out. I'm just gonna add these little bits of shadow to the to kind of the like the secondary shadows. This is not the most dark part here. This is kind of just like secondary shadows. Same down here. I can draw over windows. I can draw over anything. There we are. And we got like a couple little roofy things here. You can kind of almost imagine like it is Goldilocks style, right? You got like lights, mediums, and darks. Right now I'm just kind of adding those mediums in. And they're pretty rough because kind of everything is drawn over top of them. The mediums definitely get the shortest end of the stick in watercolors. The lights and the brights were just like, ooh, wow. But the mediums, nobody appreciates. I want those to be me, but I'm kind of too worried about this being still wet. So I might hold off on that. All right, and the second that dries, we're gonna be adding some little bits of, just these touches of shadow to these windows. You know, actually I'm gonna start some of this right now. I gave myself 3 minutes, that's not very much time. Gotta make every one of them count. And how do I do this? I think it's gonna be like this. There we go. Okay, here comes the depth. Told ya. Little L's. I'm going to do this to every single window. And with that means I don't need to make it perfect. If I make something, oh my gosh, I hear the ice cream truck. Okay, there's this ice cream truck, and I want to think of them well. I'm sure it is it's this older guy. I'm sure he is wonderful, provides a vital service of delivering ice cream to the boys and girls of this neighborhood who do not have freezers for ice cream on their own. But I just cannot see how that is a viable business these days. Like I cannot, I've never once seen anybody buy a single piece of ice cream, and I just, you don't have enough time. You kind of hear the sound, but who's like, in this neighborhood, nobody's like playing outside. Nobody's going to go rush out to their truck. Like, are they just dealing drugs or something? Like, what is, what is their deal, and why do they keep on coming by, and how are they still in business? It's been for years now. Probably too cynical of myself, but that's where my brain goes in these situations. Okay, so we got this, and now we just gotta keep on kind of going down. Sugar's really great drug. You know what? Sugar might be one of the most dangerous drugs. It's true. That is true. That is true, especially with kids. That's yeah. Oh my gosh. And it's so easy to like accidentally do a routine. Like we did it where every time we took a bath, we'd have like little juice popsicles and be like, "Hey, you want a little juice popsicle? You're taking a bath," because it's clean up the mess instantly. But now like Pavlov has just the laws have affected, so we can't take a bath without offering a popsicle, or can't offer a popsicle without offering a bath. It's they're inseparable now. And I blame sugar. All right, there we go. Most of those almost all the way done. Now let's go jump down to a few of these. And I'm going to use this as a chance to kind of fill in those letters. You do have to do them all. That is the one downside. Unlike bricks, where you can kind of just add a few and you're good. The ice cream cup comes by every Monday. Unless you're outside, you'll miss it. Yeah, it's like, in Alaska too, your season has got to be a month. Maybe a month and a half. There's like a tiny hot spell, but even then, that was probably like your only chance to pull that off, I assume. This is feeling pretty good though. Check this out. Look at that. Ta-da! I feel like that is the part that kind of like brings it to life, which is my favorite bit. Pretty cool stuff. Oof. It feels good. It feels good to get a painting down, especially because, like, to be totally honest, I am just feeling crushed this week. Like, already, I feel very overwhelmed about the scope of what needs to get done, and then just, yeah, right into the thick of it. It's good. It's good, but yeah. Oh, these days, you kind of have to like kind of grind through them. At least you hope. But it's also one of those ones where I almost need to. It's like a watercolor, right? Like it's one of these days where it's like a consequential couple brush strokes. But if you kind of try to control it or like hold it too tightly, then you'll ruin it. And if you don't pay attention, you'll ruin it. So you have to have like that perfect balance of floaty, flowy, floaty, and getting a lot done, but then also being decisive and sure. And that's how I feel right now today. And it's like this week is just not my favorite kind of pressure. But we're doing good stuff. We're moving forward. We're gonna get some good things done. It's all gonna work out. But it's real. And I think now is kind of the time where it's like important to say that stuff too, because it's I feel like it's so easy in art just to pretend like everything is pretty music and incense. You see those videos of people just like light incense, just make their art and everything's good. But like there's this whole other side to it where just even just framing a piece of artwork is like a lot of stress. But it's those moments are also where you grow a lot too. You learn a ton, you grow a ton if you don't burn yourself too close to the edge. Okay, so we got all of these. And now all that's missing is this part right here, I think. It is still pretty wet, so I'm just going to come in with this thing. Just going to help dry that out just a little bit. And this right here, oh, thank you, Karen. This right here, I do like the freedomness. I love, especially in the videos, like this little section. I love like how loose that is, because then when I add the video in, which is going to be kind of right here, it makes those details like all the cooler. It's just, I love it. 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 So I feel very happy about that. And that's kind of the nice thing with sketching is like no matter how your day goes or is going, you can kind of look at it objectively through a sketchbook. It's hard to start, but once you're doing it, like you can't lose. Either you make a fun thing and it's pretty, or it doesn't turn out, but you still learn a ton. It's like, yeah, painting. It's such a win-win-win. Ooh, I almost just drank that paint water. Speaking of which, that is a lose-lose. Do not drink. Ooh, that's what we're looking at here. Maybe I just melted my brain too much yesterday. That's probably it. Thank you, Pebbles. But yeah, so this is the loose little bit. Let's should I put some birds? No, let's not put some birds. We can kind of do that later. I'll add a couple little bits right here, just so there's a few bits of different shade. Something kind of like that. There we are. And then over here, we have just a little bit of this. Ta-da! Yeah. There we go. That'll do. Whew. Paint the pain. No, drink the paint. Paint the pain. No, drink the paint. Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. Will not be doing that. Yeah, that would be drinking the pain if I took some of that in. Keep the artistic inside, not the the art outside. Yeah. Well, here's one. So we got this one down. And then I'm trying to show, let's see, what else can I show you that's being worked on? The plan for these is kind of just these studio days, which has been a lot of fun to kind of share the process. But is there anything else that you'd like to kind of see that's in the works? don't know if I have too much actually kind of going on, which is kind of funny this week because there's a lot that needs to be going on, including this film, which needs to be made at some point. I can show you the Cannon Beach. Oh my gosh. Actually, you know what? While this dries, you want to help me figure something out? So I have a lot of this, which is good. I'm working through these sketchbooks fast, which is great. That's like I said, that's kind of what I'm looking for, is to kind of move through them. But none of them are labeled very well, and they all kind of have like different stuff in them, and none of them are really dated either. So I need a labeling system that can kind of live on them, and I can just quickly look through and see what's here. Like here's the Keene and the Cannon Beach side. Oh wait, here's all the trash that I found too. That's kind of fascinating. Check this stuff out. It's just like Portland, kind of on the sides. But oh, it was about to end up in the ocean. Probably end up back in Alaska. Oh, and here's Cannon Beach. Pretty, 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 pretty place. But so like I need this to be labeled, and I don't know if I love the idea of just drawing on it. Maybe I do. Maybe that's fine. I could try a typewriter. That could be kind of cool. Like a typewriter with like a "Hello, my name is" sticker. That could be actually kind of fun. Those things are pretty good at long lasting. Or do I just draw like, you know, paint marker and just blah, 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 blah. There's no edges to them. Let me think here. Let's go try the typewriter out. Just initially. How about? Let's go see how that feels. And I wonder if there's a way to like do tape or something on it. Or I could just do embroidery. Ooh, that's an issue. Did I buy this extra sketchbooks in school? That is a lot of, yes, I am buying them in bulk. It is a lot of books, but also, okay, hear me out, right? A college course is going to cost you $200, $300, right? So, or a painting class, like a good painting class, say, $300 is a steal for like a multi-day course or something like that. That is a steal of a deal. That is 100 sketchbooks. If you buy these not at bulk, wholesale price, these are like 30-ish a piece. That is 30 sketchbooks. So if you went and you just filled in 30 sketchbooks, a course is good too. This is not me knocking a course. College courses, amazing. Art courses, amazing. It's win-win. Everybody supports everybody. But like, if you filled 30 pages, what's in here? Okay, this one's unfilled. But like, if you, I need to get back to the drawing board on that one. But if you filled all these pages, and then you flipped it around, and you filled all of those pages, and you repeated that 29 times, like, that is how you learn. Even just the mistakes as your teacher, like, purely. Maybe you can kind of get a bit of an edge if you do a course. They'll kind of teach you some technique maybe, but like, the mistakes alone, better teacher than anything. So that is my justification. Feel free to use that one if you want, but that's why I have 45 books kind of in the wings, waiting to go. But I do need to figure out how to label them. I'm not doing a great job of it. Maybe I need to... Embroidery is kind of an interesting idea. At least to fill them up. Mine are piling up empty. No, mine are too. Don't worry. It happens. It's very hard not to do that, I must admit. I have a little label maker. I like the typewriter a whole lot. Like, I really, really, really like the typewriter. Should we try that? Let me try the typewriter. Let's just give it a little look. Let's just give it a quick try. See how it feels, and then... Oh, branding it? Oh, like a leather stamp. Ooh. That is a fun idea. That is a very fun idea. brain is turning here while holding the typewriter. This is the typewriter. It's a very good thing. Give us some depth. Oh, I like leather stamp. That is a fun idea. I need something that I can kind of see immediately right up at the top. Let's try typewriter. Let's give a typewriter just a little go. Just see how it is. And then from here, maybe we do the leather stamp. That's a clever idea. I need to see the date too, like the month and the date. My problem is I'm just not good at labeling stuff, so I think a lot of these I might even be beyond like actually knowing what that is. Okay, typewriter, check. Some paper. I'll just grab a piece of this. Move the water that should not be drunk. Oh, looks like I made some damage there. Stamping just forms a visible indent. Yeah. But I like that idea a lot. I think that's got some real potential. Okay, here we go. So just get this where it needs to be. How hard can you press? Ooh, interesting. Like actually doing that to the cover. I don't know if it would work that well, but I could totally see doing like a stampable thing. Yeah, you could like engrave it. Okay, let's try this one just for a start here. What would it be? This one right here is Alaska, and this is yesterday. This was yesterweek. So this would be like Alaska. What do I even say? Like mid-July? Because it's not like any of these happened on a single date or something. Early, mid, or late. Maybe that's what I do everything down. Early, mid, or late. So I could say Alaska, because that's where this one was. Alaska, mid-July 2026. What would this look like? I'll show you the... There we go. Okay, let's see. Alaska. What is this? This was late July. Late July 2026. Anchorage, Alaska. All right, so that's kind of what I'm thinking for like this, right? Something like pretty basic, and then I could just tape it maybe. Sometimes you gotta try. Let's see, so if I do late July 2026, Anchorage, Alaska. I do like typewriter text more than my own handwriting, which seems silly because like I'm all about handmade stuff. My own handwriting does not do it for me for some reason. Hard to read, reminds me of spelling errors. Not a fan. Okay, so I could put this here. And then I could just, what do you think about this? Late July 2026, Anchorage, Alaska. I could just tape it on. And see how this looks. Where's my tape? Who's got my tape? I just had my tape too. You want tape, you want tape, you want tape. Uh-oh, that was fast. The crazy thing is I buy that stuff in bulk. I had so many rolls of it at one point. There we go, okay. Okay, so we have no paper glue. I could glue it. What do you think? Yeah, I could glue it. I bought a glue stick. I almost don't want to show you my desk because it's, nope, found it. Okay, good. I have a glue stick. What do you think? Glue stick? permanent glue stick. Yeah, and then it could just be kind of like, it could just like live there. That's kind of classy, actually. Should we try it? I worry it won't like bind. Type is on a label. Save the glue. Okay, hold on. Oh, because the tape could fall off. No, you're right. Okay. Type is on a label. Save the glue, but you can't see the title from the bookshelf if you have it stick out like a bookmark so you can see it from above. Oh yeah, right. No, that's a good point. And I think, well, had you mentioned that earlier too? Because it's like, yeah, the label, and I'm okay having these like, so long as I have somewhere on here, I think we're in good shape. But that is a solid point. Okay, type on the label. So you're thinking packing tape? I have packing tape, but that stuff can yellow. Okay, you know what? We're gonna think about this. So here's what it would look like with tape. No, you're right, because tape can and will fall off. Glue is a bit more permanent, so that's kind of a real thing. Packing tape would look like, well, packing tape would look a little cheaper. What I really should get, those like little corner things. You know, you can get those little corner things that just kind of sit here. That would be classy for like scrapbooking. You know, they kind of sit on the edges. Check it on YouTube. My secret of foiling prints. Oh, on faux leather at home. Maybe that'll be useful. Oh, fascinating. Metal frame are purchased. You can slot in the card. Okay, these are some great ideas. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna quickly label everything. I'm gonna do it with very much. I'm gonna do it with just tape, like a very simple. Like I'm just gonna tape them right now, just to have it, so that I know what everything is, and then we'll find a more permanent solution in a bit. So something like this. Is that too janky? It's pretty janky. Doesn't look unbad, but yeah, that's pretty janky. Okay, this is my temp solution. I like this idea of like, yeah, something like gold embossed or something like that. That feels pretty classy. All right, so here's the temp. Let's go whip these out. Why don't we do it? Then I need to find kind of a permanent place where these can live. Because yeah, there's getting a lot. There's getting to be a lot of them. That one is done. Where's this one? Is this one recent? This is. Oh boy, there's a lot of undone ones. Let me show you how. Okay, so like a lot of these too. I'll just like here's that one sketch, and then I did the salmon, but then I haven't done anything with it. Same with this one. This is only half filled. So what I really need to do is only start labeling the ones that are filled enough, and then you know, call in those to both encourage myself to finish them, but then also to just to know what's going on. If you use something thick, it won't stack flat. And if you have 10 books, though, how about colored gaffer's tape? Fitting for the paintings. Okay. I'll bite. Let me go check here with the. Yeah. Okay. What was the link again? Let me go here. Stamping. Oh, I can't see that. Did you happen to date those books, pages, and locations in case Kip wants to know later? I so have not. As much complaining as I do about my grandmother's stuff, I 100% have not been doing a very good job of like labeling virtually anything. Yeah, it's been pretty bad actually. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No excuse. I'm just not doing it well. Let's see this one. Put this one on the front maybe. Okay. It'll be quick. Sometimes you just gotta do a quick little simple label. This sounds super, Extra Cozy DIY. This is fascinating. Tan Gulch, are you on our Discord? Are you on the Trailbound Sketches Discord yet? Because if so, would you mind? This sounds like something other people might get super into as well. If you are on our Discord, I wouldn't mind posting some of these links under like, trying to think what it would be under maybe like other art supplies or something like that. I feel like this would be a really fun discussion for people too. Okay, so this is, we're just gonna quickly bust out more than a few of these. All right, this one right here. Here we have, what is this? What is this? What am I doing here? There's a lot of, this is like half-cocked, very much unfilled. What is this? Notes, Anchorage. Oh, there's a cat sleeping. Okay, I don't know about that one. Avery removable address labels and type on them and then stick them on. I have those. But where? I do have those. You can do that? Yeah, I guess you could just scoot them up, couldn't you? That's some cool stuff. You know what? I got this right now. The biggest issue is like knowing what I'm painting here. This is Portland. When were we in Portland? That was that in June? Let me quickly look back through photos here. Library. Okay, we're in Portland in mid-July. I'm just writing because like it's a range, right? How did I put that other one? What was my format? Mid-July 2026, Portland, Oregon. Mid-July 26. And we'll do another one. Okay. Oops, misspelled that, but you know what? That's fine. So there's one. This is the Oregon trip here. But there's something interesting. Yeah, as soon as you put a label on it, it gets like a little bit more real. So there's this. What do I have on this? Eco End Oregon trip. Eco End. Keen. 6. What do I have on here? It's kind of half filled. Yeah, shoot. There's like a bunch of half filled things here. This is oh yeah, this whole side is unfilled. All right, great. I'm finding sketchbooks left and right. Look at all this paper I got back. Oh yeah, and what's this one? This one is Portage Glacier. gonna see if I can do the thing where you like. Boom! Look at that. Oh boy, I feel so accomplished whenever I do typewriter stuff. It's like, title. What was I doing here? Yeah, no, there'd be a lot of books called that. Is the problem? Like, here, you want to see? You want to see how many books? There's like, oh boy, there's a lot of books. It's like it's good and bad. It's like a mid heat. Like I'm proud of this, but also deeply concerned about this. Okay, what is this? Eklutna and flat top. Is this one? So like I'm very, very proud of the amount of like books that have been made, but also they're kind of a mess. Okay, I got a caption now with a voice through as prepared to go to sleep. 2 a.m. Still better than Ripley. Good. Okay, I'm glad it was working. Also, thanks for staying up so late for all of this and the advice. I am excited to have these at least like temporarily labeled. I love the ideas that are going on here. This is great. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly. What is this one called? Eklutna. Oh, when was this? Oh my gosh. This is why you write stuff down. When was my stepfather still types his on his laptop as if he's writing on a typewriter still. He punches holes through his poor PC. You do have to kind of relearn it. I'm like, I go too soft is my problem. I'm just like these soft little pecs. Okay, now where was Eklutna? We went to Eklutna. Right, okay, there's flat top. Eklutna was at... Nope, don't do that. Eklutna was in June, late June. Okay, late June 2026. It seems weird to write like the year date, but like time will go so fast. If you don't put the year, you will forget, and then it'll be like, oh shoot, what year even was that? Which is wild to think that it happens like that, but it definitely does. I don't know, spell Eklutna, but Eklutna / Eklutna and flat top. Okay, let's give these a try. So here's something, right? So we've got a couple of these down. This feels like a start. Love the idea of writing on labels, and I will say I think once I get a bunch of these done, I've seen some people do some really cool stuff where they write on like plane stuff. So there'll be like a stub from a plane ticket, or my grandmother would attach like baggage tickets and stuff like that from her journeys. That I love the idea of. So I think that's something I'd really like to do a bit later on. It's like once I can have like a parks pass or something like that I can actually glue on. I just need to start kind of thinking about that in advance, which I'm not doing a very good job of always. Okay, we're gonna cut a couple of those. There we are. And then snip. This will round us out for today. Snip. Snip. Now, I do realize that I am getting distracted by a side project just after revealing that I'm deeply underwater and concerned about getting all this stuff done. And yeah, that's just how I am. Okay, so we have Eklutna flat top. Goes right here. Put a little tape on that. The only laptops that survived him yet are the gaming laptops. Or he just needs one of those keyboards that goes along with it, you know? Oh my gosh, that is wild. Just typing a hole through a typewriter or a laptop. Times New Roman for a label just doesn't feel right. Is that what this is on? Times New Roman? This is the test. This is the test of just like actually labeling stuff this way. But yeah, I think I'd feel better were it a like I like the idea of like, yeah, putting a shipping label, like one of those, you know, like a real label. That feels pretty cool. I like that idea a ton. All right, what is this one? Portage Glacier? That's one of these, I think. Oh yeah. This will be a video that we'll put on YouTube at some point. Way excited to share. No, just if you printed them from a Word doc instead of using a typewriter. Okay, all right, just checking. Nope. I hear the ice cream truck going around again. Once again, gas is like $4.50 or $4.60 or something. There's no way that is an economic thing. Although if you really wanted to make money, a hot chocolate machine. Like if you were a hot chocolate or a coffee truck, you just drove around and then occasionally, you know, somebody like, hey, I want a hot chocolate. 100%. I give you my money every time. Probably just because we're talking about living in Alaska, but like every time I would stop. But the ice cream side, it's just like, Okay, what's this one? It's Eco and Oregon. Not even a say. The man hasn't even played video games in his life, and he's punching holes through his computer. What is he typing? Just emails? Okay, here I can show you what they look like as a little stack here in just a second. It actually feels pretty solid. I'm liking this as just like seeing them labeled. Not necessarily how they'll be labeled forever, but this feels good. Let's see. So what's this one? This one is mid-July Oregon coast trip. Is that what this is? Yep. Okay, so here's what a little stack of these looks like labeled. Probably not, he's either out in nature reading books or watching movies. Not an ornithologist, travels a lot. There we go. That's the life. Okay, so when I have a bunch of these labeled, I feel like they start to take on, this feels good. Especially, yeah, once I kind of start to add either stickers. Maybe that's another thing I should do too, is every time I find a good sticker, kind of starting to put something so that they can kind of be told apart early on. I don't mind that, actually. What do you think? That's what they kind of look like all together. It's a start. It's a start. What's this thing? Oh yeah, this is miscellaneous, but from when? I have a no on a lot of these. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll find out eventually. Got stickers from areas you're painting from. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's what I'm thinking, right? Is like, yeah, stickers from spots where I'm painting, and then like those are like I should like this, right? This is a loose one. I should find a sticker right now just to kind of start that and see what it look like. So here's this. The label will go here, whatever label ends up being the label. Oh, here we go, with. They just sent this sticker. This is a fun one. We'll put this on. There we go. So start with my initial sticker. And then when I start going cool places and doing cool things, then yeah, I'll kind of burn through those. Stickers I find hard because I always like want to find something worthy of the sticker, you know? So it's like if it's not worthy of the sticker, like what am I doing? But then like a sketchbook is always a worthy thing, so that seems like a good use of a sticker. There we go. So now this goes like that. This goes right there. One sticker down. Every page will tell a story. So true. I like this. Wow, this okay, you know what? This feels like a big deal today. Soundtrack of my life. Yeah, this feels like, that actually feels like kind of significant. Like having my everyday sketchbook and then having that form with it. I'm even, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna label. I shouldn't have just crumpled up and thrown away all that paper. I'm just gonna label right now. So that way I have this. So pre-label them, and that can be kind of the start of a new sketchbook, right? Is like part of the practice. So this is, what is it? Early? Is it early? Yeah, it's early August. So early AU August? August. And where am I? I'm in Anchorage. Where am I going to be this week? Yeah, maybe that's why I don't label them at the beginning. Anchorage, bird. I'll be in Alaskan later this week, but I hopefully will burn through this by then, right? How much more pages do I got? Let's find out. Yeah, I'll burn through it by then. And I have to, because I'm going to label it that way. So, A and C and bird. Oh, shoot. Oh, scary one. Ready? See if I can get it right. 2026. Oh, I messed it up. Okay, round 2. Early August 26. No. And alrighty. Gonna be doing the exact same labeling for 50 years now. Maybe. I mean, that's kind of the goal, right? Have something consistent. We'll see. I haven't been very good at the consistency side of things, but I'm consistently inconsistent, but the things that matter, I'm consistent about. Still stoked about the outdoors, still stoked about like sketching cool things, still stoked about learning and curiosity, and there's like multiple different kind of sketchbooks and systems and things where I'm like, this is it. But the consistency is that it's always, I'm always doing sketching. Like that is the consistent part. My grandma's decent at consistency, but she switched it up too. She even switched up her types of sketchbooks and whatnot. She used to use really big ones, and then she kind of went to A5s, and then eventually she went to really small ones as well. So there we go. Ta-da! Bring that with me. I'm gonna sticker it up now. This is great. This is very great. I learned a bunch. What a fine Monday. Wasn't an overwhelming one. Now we have a pretty picture that I can use for the video, and we have a whole sketchbook labeling system. It's great. Okay. Popping back, I'm sanding wood. Oh my gosh, what are you working on now? What is the current frames or something? Okay, putting these back. Voila. All right. Well, I am going to go raid off Twitch somewhere, and then I'll say goodnight to YouTube. The plan with this week too is I'm gonna try it just like I did last week. So the plan is to do kind of just like pretty chill streams starting at 3 o'clock my time. So we'll be yeah, just pretty chill streams for maybe an hour or so. Who knows? And then on Friday a big long thing, and I'm gonna be chasing down some wildflowers. And I'm thinking of doing something kind of like can't really, but kind of like this on the back wall. So I'm tempted to like do a big wildflower picture painting. We'll see. I'll try to. Oh, just join Discord. Perfect. Thank you, Tan. Yes. Take a closer look in coming days. Lots. I see there's lots of info. Awesome. And definitely toss these ideas like the embossing kind of stuff. Put that on Discord, both because I want it there and I want all those links, but also there are so many other people that'd be stoked to get those ideas. So definitely let me know what you think and find, and I'll be on there as well. And I look forward to jumping back in tomorrow. So see you tomorrow with this animation should be done by then. So by tomorrow, I should be able to show you what happens when you take a picture like that and then you add the video part to it. So that's my goal. But I'll say good night,